A friend of mine who is really anti-auto-tune says people can't sing anymore, except for, like people on shows like America's Got Talent or American Idol, or The Voice. He says, now, those people, they can sing, man, they can sing. And I go, really? I agree that they can sing, but let me school you on a few things is what I tell him. The television singing competitions rely heavily on production techniques because they want to ensure a polished and consistent sound. And many of you assume that you're hearing these raw, unaltered vocals, but the reality is that auto-tune pitch correction and other audio enhancements are standard industry practices. So let me break this down. I'm going to break a typical reality show down into 3 stages and tell you how producers apply these actual effects. And I'm also going to do a short demonstration on one of my own tracks to show you how you can do this, where it's barely noticeable, because again, it's everywhere today. Let's begin. Stage 1. Many of these singing shows, especially during the early rounds like the auditions and the battle rounds, are pre-recorded and edited. What does that mean? That means this gives producers ample time to enhance that audio. And how do they do that? Pitch correction. That's right. Pitch correction is applied to fix minor off-key movements, and it's typically subtle. But it aims to smooth out inconsistencies without making the voice sound robotic. They also do time alignment and layering, and if multiple takes are recorded, producers will sometimes comp it. They'll splice together the best parts of each take, which creates a flawless composite performance. And of course, they've got our standard effects like delay, reverb, compression, and stuff like that. And those are also added to the vocals to give a professional studio quality sound. And in post-production, sometimes the vocals are actually mixed with a backing track, balancing the levels and enhancing the overall quality. Examples I found noteworthy are shows like The Voice. Blind auditions are recorded months in advance, which gives producers time to edit and apply pitch correction, or American Idol. Pre-recorded Hollywood Week performances are often polished. So that's stage 1. Stage 2, live. Remember, folks, you're looking at this on television, okay? So yeah, it's live to the audience, but even in live performances with the audience, real-time correction is commonly used. And this form of auto-tune is very subtle to prevent noticeable mistakes while maintaining a natural vocal tone. They use software like Autotune Live or Melodyne or Waves Tune Live, and the correction is kept light and transparent. These software suites are amazing. They fix minor pitch issues without drastically altering the singer's natural tone. See, here's the deal. These sound engineers are really skilled with this software. So a lot of amateurs think that as soon as you talk about pitch correction, they think Sure or T-Pain. But I tell people all the time, there's so much more to it than that. In the right hands, you can set these products so that it's barely noticeable. As a matter of fact, here's a quick demonstration of a vocal I'm working on personally, and it will give you an idea of how you can do this with a subtle perspective without going all across the board and making everything sound like a robot. So this is a good example of a ballad that I'm working on. It's called You're My Sunshine. Has this 70s type of feel to it. So let me just play a little bit of it for you, right? So you can see what it sounds like. And this is all natural. This is just purely natural of my vocal.
You walked in the room, got my heart aglow.
Now see, I can hear some tension and some imperfections basically.
In your eyes, it's a light show.
But there's no tuning on this whatsoever.
Whisper words to soothe my soul. You're my sunshine, make me whole.
And just to give you an example with no music.
Hand in hand, we take it slow.
So that's just pure natural.
Through the highs and the lows.
So I want to take that and I want to tighten that up some. Just to me, it sounds okay, but it could sound better. So I'm going to go to the track and I'm going to bring up Autotune. And this is Autotune Live. And for save time, I'm only going to do two parameters. I'm only going to use the retune speed, which is the rate at which the input audio is moved to a target pitch. And I'm going to do the humanize function, which the humanize function adds realism to my sustained notes. So those are the two things I want to use. So I have my key set. I'm singing in E major, and the input type of my voice is soprano in this particular case. But first, before I do that, I'm going to do this the T-Pain way, the modern pop style way, just to give you guys an idea. So I'm going to take off all the humanize, and I'm going to take the retune speed and put it all the way up as fast as it will go, and watch how it sounds now.
You walked in the room, got my heart aglow.
You can definitely tell, can't you?
In your eyes, it's a light show.
And some people today actually would like that. I'm not one.
Whisper words to soothe my soul. You're my sunshine, make me whole.
So I don't want that T-Pain type sound, right? That modern pop sound. That's not what I'm looking for. I just want some help in areas that I may have messed up when I was actually putting the song together. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go back to the bar where I started from. And I'm going to take and I'm going to add my humanize function, raise it up to about 13 to allow my natural voice to come through. And I'm going to take my retune speed and I'm going to put it all the way down to about 55 is good. So now what's going to happen is that it's going to apply some correction, but it's going to apply some correction slowly. So it won't be very abrupt. So you won't hear the warble, in my vocal.
Got my heart aglow.
See, I think it's tuning me quite nicely.
In your eyes, it's a light show.
I think my voice sounds so much cleaner. Listen here.
Whisper words to soothe my soul. You're my sunshine, make me whole.
So you see, it really, really tightened that up for me.
Hand in hand, we take it slow.
And that's it. That's how simple it is. I mean, I could actually adjust the speed. If I didn't like it, I could take the retune speed up a bit more. And especially if I was more off pitch. I don't think I'm off pitch. I don't see the auto-tune working that hard on my voice, but it's definitely making a difference in my overall sound. So that's the only thing I want to demonstrate here. I don't want to go too long on this part here, but that's all I want to show you guys is how you can take and you can apply some auto-tune to, I'll use the term clean up the vocal without going drastically over and making it, like I said, a T-Pain or this sure pop sound. No, I just want it just enough. And of course, there are tons of other parameters here. I don't want to take time in doing all of that. I just want to show you guys how just applying some slight auto-tune can make a huge difference in the overall vocal. See what I'm talking about? Now, back to how it works. Same as in live performances. Yes, they use auto-tune, but they also use dynamic compression to ensure that the soft notes are loud and the loud notes are controlled and kept in the music pocket, thus a more even vocal performance. And of course, they use the standard effects, EQ, reverb, delay, stuff like that. Now, in all fairness, there are some shows with minimal auto-tune pitch correction, but it depends on the act a lot. While it's still a standard, and you might as well get over that part, some shows do aim for a more raw and unpolished sound, especially acts that are acoustic or intimate performances. For example, in some of the acoustic acts, a show like The Voice often allows for natural vocals during the performance, with the key being acoustic performance where pitch imperfections are part of the authenticity. And America's Got Talent also showcases raw auditions especially for singers, songwriters, or unique vocalists. But for everybody else, boom, they throw it on, man. And I'm saying they throw it on deep. And of course, the reason why they do this in the first place is because it's not a singing show, it's a television show. Professional consistency. Even talented singers hit occasional off notes, and Autotune smooths them out for a for a TV ready sound. And all shows on television have budgets, production schedules, and time constraints. And those schedules and budgets are pretty tight. Sometimes because, as they say, time is money. So producers use Autotune to minimize the need for timely retakes. They don't want to go back and do it over and over again. So they just slap some Autotune on it. Voila, perfectly tuned. Vocals are there to ensure the show sounds polished and marketable, keeping the audiences engaged. So what's the takeaway here? I'm telling you, TV shows routinely use Autotune and pitch correction, but the extent depends on the actual stage of production and making a show. Again, 3 stages to complete the production circle. Stage number 1, heavily edited pitch correction. All those pre-recorded segments are enhanced. Stage 2, live performances. Real-time Autotune effects are used in those live performances and post-production. And stage 3, final polishing for broadcast and online release. In that case, everything's on the table and you might as well accept it. A lot of times, what you're listening to or what you're looking at on a television show is a post-production that's been edited. So again, if it's on TV, it's probably been Auto-tuned. Anyway, that's the case, folks. I see you guys next time. This is Henry Clark, Senior Musicians Unite. Bye.